Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we would put the last piece that we have on, the Aprilia RSV4. This is the last one, and then we basically ran out of parts, so we're going to have to start looking for something else to buy or start working on something else. But today what I have is I've bought an aluminum radiator guard for it. This part was pretty inexpensive actually. I bought this on Amazon. It's just stamped aluminum. Pretty decent shape. I'll actually leave, as always, I'll leave the link in the description below where I got it on Amazon and the price. And should be a pretty easy install. Just comes with the actual radiator guard and then the oil cooler guard. Some basically strips to put behind, probably where it rubs on the, so it won't rub on the radiator, and then your bracketry for it. So should be a pretty easy install. We'll take a look at the tools that we need to install this, and then we'll get to it. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the tools that you're going to need to do this job. It's pretty basic hand tools. You need a pair of needle nose, a 1/4 inch ratchet, an extension, obviously blue Loctite. I use this little hook tool to remove the push pins, a 2.5 and a 4mm Allen head socket, and a short Phillips screwdriver. And that's pretty much all you need to complete the job. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is remove these push pins from the inner skirt. There's 3 of them on each side. There's on the bottom, there's one in the middle, and then obviously there's one up at the very top. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the way you do it is just take your hook, stick underneath it, and then they just pop right up, and then you can pull it right out. Once you remove the 6 push pins, 3 from each side on the inner side of the fairing, there's 5 bolts that we need to take out of the upper fairing. There's 2 here, and then there's 3 on the bottom. I'll show you where those are at, but let's go ahead and remove these first. When you get the 2 out of the top of the fairing, there's 3 on the sides. It's here, there's 1 here, and there's 1 on the lower fairing. You don't need to take the lower fairing completely off, but you do need to remove this bolt. So let's go ahead and get these out. Once you get those out, you can pull the fairing. There's a clip in the center and then one in the front, and it'll come out. Now once you get it out, and you can pull the fairing back a little bit, there is 1 push pin on the inside right here that you also need to take out. So go ahead and pull that out now, and then you can remove the fairing. So once you get the push pins out, there's also a arm here that they must have had kind of goofed up from the beginning that just pushes through this rubber grommet here. So just make sure to pop that off when you pull it out. Now after we get the fairing off, we need to take off this inner skirt right here. And this, there's a bolt, or actually a screw right here we can take off from the inside. And it is a Phillips. If you have a short Phillips screwdriver like this, it'll probably work good. There's also another 4mm bolt here we will take out. So now that we have the side fairing off, let's go ahead and get this lower guard off for the cooler. And it looks like there's a bolt here, another 4mm. There's bolts through the front also here. Go ahead and take those off. Now, these are a different bolt, so keep them separate. It's like a shouldered bolt. Now we'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so after doing the other side, that leaves the radiator and the oil cooler completely exposed, and now we can see what we have to do to get our guard on. What I'll do is just kind of try to fit it in place so I could see exactly what kind of goes where. It's got these tabs on the top of it here that pop, actually go over the radiator to hold it in. Okay, so now that we have everything off the bike, this is the oil cooler guard. And it looks like it comes with some foam trim that you can put on the back side here, on both sides, and on this side. And then on these that hook underneath the oil cooler, it looks like you take this little black clip, cut it, and put it on each side. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, now that we have those on, let's go ahead and try to test fit this on here. There's two holes right here that gets a zip tie that goes through this mount. It just pulls this up so it can't come off. So let's try to get those on there. Pull the factory ones out. Because what happens is this bolts onto the radiator guard and goes underneath. So you have somewhere to bolt it. So we'll go over here on the other side real fast. and we'll pull the clip out here. Okay, so we're going to have basically the same thing on this side. If you can see. These brackets are going to bolt on here. And then that will allow you to bolt it to the actual radiator. And then obviously, once again, we'll take your tape to put on the backside to keep it from rubbing. And we'll do that now, and then we'll throw it in. These you don't want to put on until after you get it on the motorcycle, because it won't go on with these on there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these brackets put on. The screws for these brackets are 2.5 millimeter, and obviously we do want to Loctite these on, because the last thing we want is this radiator guard coming loose. But we don't want to tighten them up right now until we get them on and adjusted. So let's just kind of get them stuck up here for the moment. Okay, so here's the problem with what I just done. I forgot that you have to put this piece back on because it holds the lower fairing. But the issue is, do I cut this section out? Because you don't need it because we have the radiator guard, or what? Or did I just put this over the top? I mean, either way, I guess looks okay. I guess I'll just leave it on for now, because maybe if I were to cut that out, it might make these sides want to warp and twist. So if anybody knows a better way to do this, just comment down below and let me know. So we'll go ahead and throw this on now. Now we can go ahead and just button the fairings back up. Alright, so now that we have the fairings back on, we'll go ahead and button up our inner skirt here. Just remember to use your push pins. So just make sure you get those in, and then all your screws back in. And there's the finished installation of the radiator and the oil cooler guard. It's a pretty simple install. It would be a lot easier if you have a lift to put your bike on. That'll pretty much do it for the install on this. It was pretty easy. There's no instructions, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I hope the video helps you out if you ever put one on yours. It's not that hard. So I'll leave a link in the description, as I said, for the parts that I bought on Amazon for it. And if you guys like these videos, make sure and give the video a thumbs up, a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.